So evening, my lovely yogis. Thank you for joining me, and just begin wherever your body needs to today, lying down or seated. Just have a lovely sigh on the next out breath. And tune into your body. Notice how you're feeling, how your body is feeling after your day. Whether you've had a busy one. I know sometimes some of you are busy on a Thursday, and you really welcome kind of a lovely evening stretch. But it's not just about the physical. It's so much is linked with the mental and the emotional side with this practice. And just quietening down, turning inwards and listening. It's so rare that we have that silence. And that's the beauty of yin, having a little bit more quietness in the practice when the teacher doesn't talk and guide so much. So just follow your breath for a moment. Maybe close your eyes and let the shoulders relax. And notice the muscles in your face. And your fingers and the palms of your hands. And just have this opportunity to look through the body for anything else that you hadn't noticed before now, but is a little bit tight and tense. Our bodies become so habitual with the way we hold ourselves, our posture, our mannerisms. And so when we come on our mat, there's that opportunity to sort of unwind what is on most of the time autopilot. So have a moment to also root your energies down. And through those roots, just release anything from your day that doesn't really serve you and that you just don't want to hold anymore. Whether you've seen something unpleasant or heard something unpleasant, just send it through those roots into Mother Earth and let it transmute the energy. Some people journal at the end of their day. A very lovely practice that I recommend. Just to release whatever they're holding, any annoyances or irritations they've observed. But also to journal the lovely things that they've noticed, the compliments they've received or given. So we'll take a lovely deep breath, and if you're lying down, just begin to bring your knees into your chest. If you're already seated and you just want to wriggle the body a moment just before we come into seated for Zazen. There's no rush this evening. This is a practice for just slowing down and being with yourself. So take your time as you come up. It's really quite nice to enjoy doing things more slowly on purpose. Moving and doing the things you normally do, but purposefully. With great attention on being in the present moment. It might only be fleeting, because quite often the mind will dart off on a tangent, and before we know it, the thoughts are thinking us rather than the we or the person inside thinking the thoughts. So just join me seated, have a moment to get comfortable, and we'll rest the hands to Chin Mudra. And we're just going to simply follow the breath this evening. When your mind wanders, just catch yourself doing it and just come back to the sensation of the breath, how it feels around the nostrils. Really using your diaphragm. So often the chest is moving, but we're not feeling the belly rise. And just allow the breath to be very even and circular. No pauses. Just let it come and go. So let's rest the eyes. And we'll do this for about 5 minutes. Just let the mind quieten. Stay with your thoughts. Following your breath. So we'll just take a few more breaths. And come back I wonder how many thoughts we all had just then. And of all those thoughts that we were very conscious about and aware of the thought, always makes me think, and I'm curious about it. Anyway, coming into our first pose, it will be a praying mantis. So mantis, but just bringing the arms up into a prayer behind us. If you want to, you can come into mantis. So taking knees wide. Anyone with the knee issues, perhaps putting a blanket behind the knee so it's not so much of a compression of the joint. And then we're just going to come down. If you want a little cushion under the belly, that can be nice and supportive as well. And with any of the poses this evening, if you need to come out of them earlier, please do. And we'll just start to settle. Notice if you can relax your hands. Notice what you're feeling around the tops of the legs, inner thighs. Is this comfortable or challenging? Lovely stretch for the back. If you want to release the arms down, then you can. Just keep trying to relax and be in the moment. And then we'll take a lovely deep breath. Slowly lift our head, walking hands back to body. Just about 3 minutes in that one as a starting pose. Very intense around the legs. Let's just find neutral. Stretch our legs out, feeling perhaps that tingliness or sensation on the tops of the feet, inner thighs. Deep breath, enjoy what you're feeling. Tingly feet perhaps. Following any cold or warmth in your body. Noticing the quality of your breath. Is it quite shallow or deep? Is it just in the chest? So many people really only breathe a small percentage of their full capacity breath most of the time. So when you're ready, let's hug our knees in, bring the right one, then the left one in, and gently have a moment here. Just aware of your spine. Noticing how much energy you have today and this evening. And always honouring that. If you feel depleted, just pare everything back and do it even more gently. So when you're ready, roll up to seated. We're going to come into oyster. We'll start with the right leg in front, and then bringing the left leg behind. And so I know I always say it's rather than crossing the legs like sitting like that, it's more about bringing the shins sort of almost into a nice parallel sort of shape here. And then just gently, as your body wants to or allows, just leaning into this. You're going to feel it really quite a lot on the outside of the thighs and hips here. And again, belly breaths. Use the diaphragm. Notice the quality of your breath. The movement in the back of your body. And as and when you can, relaxing the head and neck. Shoulders and arms and wrists. Just being really curious about what you're feeling in the hips. A nice stretch sensation rather than pain. Where is your attention? Continuing to follow your breath. Let's take a deep breath as we just lift out of this slowly. Feeling the ease come back into the hips and the legs. Find neutral pose before we come in and explore the other side. And just as you lie here, have some really loving thoughts about your body. Think how lovely it is to have your heart beating, the lungs just continually to breathe for you without you having to think about it. The movement of your diaphragm pulls the air in and then it expels it. We haven't got to think about anything unless we want to. So appreciating your liver and your kidneys, a nice, happy, healthy digestive system. Gratitude for our eyesight, our hearing. It's really lovely to have these moments where we can just do this self-care. And then when you thank or appreciate or love all the parts of your body, all the different limbs and parts, then effectively we're loving our whole selves. Certainly in a physical way. So bringing these in. Nice deep breaths. And then coming up with that openness with the other side. Perhaps we have a minor expectation of how this is going to feel, but let's just be open to how our bodies will respond. Every moment it's a new us, isn't it? So left leg in the front, right leg behind, and then just gently explore the pose. Relax as you come forward, releasing anything that you can. How easy does this side feel compared with the other side? Do you go into it more smoothly and feel it? And just noticing how quiet your mind is. Every time your mind wanders off into the future or the past, just try and tease it back into the moment. Because when we're anywhere but the now, we're missing our very moment of living. We can never be in the future, and we can't ever relive the past. So just being in this present, fully conscious. How does this pose feel for you emotionally this evening? What comes up? What memories, thoughts, feelings do find their way in? So we'll gradually take a breath, lifting up, nice and slowly, just aware if there's any sort of dizziness with the head being low for so long. And then lying down. And as you place your head down, notice if your chin wants to tuck in a little, lengthen through the neck. Gradually start to relax the back and spine. Tuning into any of the chi moving around your body. Enjoying your breath. So when you're ready, we'll bring the knees in, one at a time. And again, lovely massage on your back. We're going to come up and move onto our bellies for amphibian. So we've taken the knees out wide for mantis, and again for oyster. So with amphibian, I'm going to lie on the belly and bring the right leg up. If you want a little cushion, actually this evening I am going to use a little cushion just under the chest. It's a lot more supportive. And if you want a block for your forehead, so just bringing your leg up, it might come parallel, sort of knee in line with hip. It might be a lot lower, or you might have it higher, whatever feels right for you. And then just gently find that place that you can be comfortable, especially in the lower spine. Not only does this encourage a lovely little stretch through the belly and a flex in the lower back, you can probably feel this on the sort of top of the inner thigh, begin like partly around the groin area as well. Try and relax as much as you can. Find the tension. Just let everything go floppy. You might feel a little bit of a stretch through the left side of your waist as well. Don't do anything that really causes aggravation.
Just a nice, enjoyable stretch. If there's any feelings of intensity that aren't right, then just lower the arms down slightly. Bring yourself lower to the mat. And relax the legs. There are so many poses that we take with yin on this floor-based practice, and some we will love the poses, other times we will hate them, and others will be indifferent. It's all about finding yourself within with whatever pose we've come into. What nature does it bring out in you? What character? What part of yourself do you find in these poses? Keep relaxing arms, wrists. Does the pose now feel a little softer? Let your breath be steady. And gently, let's take the last breath in this pose and start by lowering the leg down first. And then either lying on your belly or your back. I'm going to turn onto my back just because it's the position that I feel that I can feel and relax in most, even if it takes a bit more movement. It's like a reset, definitely, that neutral spine. And now just what do you feel? Where do you feel it? Be curious. Perhaps coldness at the tops of the thighs, groin. What side of the waist do you feel more? Noticing hips, lower back. Just enjoying the quiet silence for a moment.
And then when you're ready, a nice little cuddle for yourself before we come up for the other side. And as you rock, you might feel something slightly different from how you've rocked before with the other poses earlier. And then up we come. So as we come onto our belly, we're going to lift the left leg. Again, please use any amount of props that you want to. And as you come into this, just be kind of gently aware of how it feels to open this hip up, whether it has the same sort of flexibility as your other side. Sometimes the body can really show its imbalances and differences here. So, right leg straight, left leg lifted, and as much as you can, resting, softening into this pose. Keep adjusting your body if you need to come a lot lower, if it aggravates the lumbar part of the spine. Keep relaxing. Keep looking for tension in shoulders and neck. And just witnessing your thoughts. Just check in with yourself whether you're starting to enjoy this pose. Noticing your thoughts in these quiet moments. Cultivate being the observer. And we'll take a couple more breaths. No rush. Gently coming out.
Nice and slowly. And just being aware of the lower spine as you do, moving very gently. And then coming back on your back. Keep your cushion handy because we'll come into bench shortly. So you might be able to feel that pose quite a lot in your lower spine. Again, just be aware of any coolness that you're feeling around the pelvis and hips. Trying to relax with every out breath. And then when you're ready, let's draw knees in. We'll have two quite nice relaxing poses now, bench and then waterfall. So just rock, massage that little part of the spine that might be a little bit tender. And then as we come up, we'll grab our pillows so that we actually stretch more of the thoracic, the upper part of the spine. Resting that lumbar a little bit now. So take the cushion a little bit further away from the body. As you lie back, you're going to get more of a curve in the upper part. And then rest the head back. If you need something like a rolled towel under your neck to support, whatever feels right for you. Relax. Allow these last few poses to be really restful. Opening your heart energetically, emotionally if you need to or want to. And gently aware of your breath. Do you notice that the breath comes down to the belly and really inflates? Does it have to be a conscious thing to breathe this way? Following your breath. Nice circular movements with the breath and the diaphragm. Let's take one more breath here. We'll come up really slowly. Just pull the cushion away.
lying straight back down. Keep it handy because we'll use it for waterfall. Lovely long sigh. How does your back feel and spine? Just having moved it in a slightly different way, curving the upper part. And then we'll hug knees in. And waterfall's always a lovely one to kind of end with, very relieving for the legs. So just popping the edge of that cushion under the buttocks, make a little wedge just so it sort of tilts you and supports you. And then just enjoy. If we ever get any build-up of fluid around the ankles and feet, then this is wonderful. If you've been on your feet all day, this is lovely. If there's been a lot of emotion around the heart centre, then this is also lovely and relieving. Really try and let your head and neck, face relax. Observing your thoughts and noticing any gaps between your thoughts. And if you do find yourself in that gap, just wondering how long you'll stay there before the next thought comes in. Just resting in complete awareness. So just gently now bend the knees, lower the legs down. Take a breath and then really slowly move the cushion. Let's just have a moment in neutral. Enjoying those last two really nourishing poses. If you're like me and you notice how wonderfully calming those two are, they could be just two poses you do and take, 5 minutes, 2.5 minutes in each in your day, or even a bit longer if you want to, and just you really feel the benefits of just coming into a quiet place for 5 or 10 minutes. How it replenishes you, mind, body, and spirit. So just draw knees in. We'll come into relaxation now. Choose whether you want to stay on the floor, lying down, or whether you want to join me up in a seated position. Just make sure you're nice and warm. It's lovely to not only rest and relax yourself, but to be lovely and cosy as well, too. And we'll take a random card. Notice if you have a thought in mind that you need an answer to, or whether there's a thought that recurs in your mind that you can't shake, something that is inspired. Okay, I've had 2 cards that have just flipped over. And whenever I get anything like that, I like to go with the fact that that has happened. We have Crystal and Shanti. Let me read them both to you. So, Crystal, have faith and hope because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't see yet. The seeds that you have planted are beginning to sprout results. You may not even be aware of these results. However, since they are in their infancy. Now it is more important than ever to stay positive and to hold a clear vision of your desire. Avoid skeptics and those with negative mindsets. Daily action, even if it only consists of baby steps towards the fruition of your dream, is essential. A phone call, a letter, or reading relevant material will keep the energy of your manifestation at a high level. Every day, positively affirm that you have already achieved or exceeded your dreams. And most important, ask for angelic assistance every step of the way. So that was the first one. And then we also have Shanti, which means peace. So Shanti, I am the angel of peace, and I bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. You've been through turmoil and your soul is tired. Your mind craves peace and quiet, and I am here to help you with your desire. I will give you new opportunities to spend time alone, where you can relax your mind and heart. I will bring you tranquility to your soul so that you can mirror the peace of mind that is your divine nature. Like the angels, you are able to hover within the eye of any hurricane that might swirl around you. Through breath and intention, you can stay centered no matter what is happening in your life. This inner foundation of peace has a powerful healing effect. Your outer life soon reflects your inner peacefulness. Smooth roads are ahead for you, and the worst is behind you now. A peaceful outcome to this situation is assured. There's one line in that actually always I love to think about. Your outer life soon reflects your inner peacefulness. Very reflective of the idea of as you think, so shall you be, or the idea that our thoughts create our things, and when we get our thought into alignment in positive intention and we feel it, be amazed at the miracles that come into life and reflect that in outer life. Outer life's just a mirror for the inner. So just sitting with those lovely thoughts just for a little while longer. So gently, just noticing how you feel, whether you're feeling quite peaceful now. If we want peace in our life, we have to be peaceful within. Release all the turmoil. So just gently start to wiggle your fingers and toes and just perhaps take a few deep breaths. Join me in a nice long sigh. Feeling good. Hugging knees in. And then gently, just when you're ready, rocking up to seated. Have a nice stretch if you want to. Just have a moment to come to seated and settle for a second. And then we can join hands together. Om Shanti. Namaste.